Life of Fred, Goldfish. Chapter 7. Zillions of Pets. Callback wanted to be sure that all the terms of their agreement were clear. He asked Fred if he understood that all the pets at Pets You Bet are $100. Fred understood that. Callback said that he had pets that fit Fred's criteria. No bugs, no cats, no dogs, no mice, nothing that looks like a mouse, such as rats, gophers, rodents, moles, or hamsters. No spiders, no moths, nothing that crawls around on the ground, nothing from the zoo, no vultures, no chickens, no cattle, no other farm animals, no birds, and no animal that breathes, and that were alive. Callback promised that he wouldn't give Fred a dead coyote. Callback explained that the pets he had in mind didn't have any lungs, so they couldn't breathe. Fred said that was exactly what he wanted. Fred had a mania. All he could think of was, I want a pet. Kids with manias often pester their parents, saying, I want a rag-a-fluffy doll. All my friends have a rag-a-fluffy doll. I need one. Buy one for me. Fred didn't have parents. There was no one there to tell Fred that he was making a big mistake. Fred said, I'll buy it. I don't care what color it is or what size it is. Callback took out his handkerchief and blew his nose. He handed the handkerchief to Fred and took the $100. With a wiggly smile, Callback said, There you are, my little man. Zillions of little animal bacteria are now yours. All of a sudden, the world stopped. The pets at the store were quiet. A cicera. For a moment, Fred stopped breathing. Fred had bought some yellow snot for $100. He wished that he had parents there to comfort him. Tears ran down his cheeks. Fred's world got turned upside down. Small essay. Keeping your word. Fred did not ask for his money back. He had made an agreement with Callback. Fred had promised that if Callback did something, supply an animal, that Fred would do something, pay $100. Callback kept his part of the deal, and Callback had not lied. This is important. If Callback had lied, committed fraud, then Fred would not have to keep his word and go through with the sale. If Fred says that he will meet you at 7:30, you can expect him to be there at 7:30. If Fred says that he will clean your bird's cage, it will be done. Fred keeps his word. If Fred ever gets married, at the wedding he will promise to love and honor his wife as long as they both shall live, and you know that Fred will keep his word. You get to pick your friends and pick your spouse, wife or husband. It's your choice. Pick people who, 1, don't lie, and 2, who keep their word. You will be a lot happier. End of small essay. Fred headed into the restroom at Pets You Bet. He put the handkerchief into the garbage and washed his hands. He was too short to look into the mirror, but he realized that he should also wash his face. Here is what a mirror looks like when you are too short to look into it. You don't see yourself. While Fred was in the restroom, Callback's sister came out of the back room to talk to Callback. She was angry. He was counting his money. $20, $40, $60, $80, $100. Fred had paid with $20 bills. He said, Look, sister, we made a nice pile of money. She said, I heard everything. That kid's only 4 or 5 years old and you sold him your snotty handkerchief for $100. The least you could have done was sold him one of our 39-cent goldfish. Goldfish don't breathe air. Now the kid's crying. Don't you care about his feelings? She paused. He said nothing. He put the money in his pocket and started to walk away. She shouted, Why'd you do it? Why didn't you at least give him a stupid goldfish? He turned and said, Frankly, my dear, snot is cheaper. Now it's your turn to play. Get your pencil and a piece of paper and get ready to answer the questions. Number 1. If x is an even number, what can you say about x plus 1? Number 2. Fill in the next 3 numbers in the sequence. 10, 20, 30, blank, blank, blank. Number 3. It is hard to define a polygon in English, but easy to see what a polygon is by example. These are polygons. See how all the shapes are completely closed up? These are not polygons. Also, polygons have some straight edges. Not polygons have round edges. Your question, is every triangle a polygon? And here are the answers. This chapter has a row of practice, so you'll need to copy these down in your notebook. It says do the whole row before you look at the answers. And here's the answers to our Your Turn to Play. Number 1, if x is an even number and you add 1 to it, you will always get an odd number. For example, 12 plus 1 is 13. That's odd. 438 even plus 1 is 439. It's odd. 42,629,693,232 is even. Add 1 and you get 42,629,693,233, which is now odd. And number 2, 10, 20, 30, you should have written 40, 50, 60. A sequence is a bunch of numbers separated by commas. And number 3, every triangle is a polygon. Here's the note Mr. Stan has. Trying to define what a polygon is using English is tough. You can take a bunch of straight sticks, line segments, and join them at their ends, vertices, so there's exactly one hole in the middle. We will do a much better job defining polygons when we get to Life of Fred geometry. And then there's your row of practice, and that is all for today. Bye-bye.